The wind carries something unseen, not an army, not a storm, but death itself. It creeps silently through narrow streets, hides in shadows, travels in the breath of the living. By the time you notice it, it's already too late. This is not just a disease. This is a force that erased millions, collapsed empires, and reshaped the fate of humanity. This is the story of the Black Death. It started far from the crowded cities of Europe and lands most people had never seen. A strange illness, whispered about in trading routes, carried by merchants who never made it home. People spoke of sudden fevers, swelling lumps on the body, and death that came within days. No one understood it. No one could stop it. Some believed it was punishment from God. Others thought the air itself had turned poisonous. But the truth was far more terrifying. The killer was invisible and already moving. In 1347, ships arrived at the port of Messina in Sicily. But something was wrong. The sailors on board were either dead or dying. Their bodies were covered in dark swellings, their skin turning black, their breath fading. Panic spread faster than the disease itself. The ships were ordered to leave immediately, but it was already too late. The plague had stepped onto European soil, and once it arrived, it began to spread like wildfire. From Italy, it moved north. France, Spain, England, Germany. No border could stop it. No army could fight it. It traveled through trade routes, through villages, through families. One cough, one touch, one flea. That was all it needed. Within months, entire towns were wiped out. People would wake up healthy and be dead by nightfall. Doctors tried everything, burning herbs, draining blood, prayers. Nothing worked. The plague was unstoppable. Imagine waking up, feeling a strange pain in your body. By afternoon, your fever rises. By evening, painful swellings appear under your arms, your neck, your groin. They grow larger, darker, until they turn black. Then comes the coughing, the weakness, the slow fading away. Families watched helplessly as loved ones died in front of them. Parents abandoned children. Children abandoned parents. Not out of cruelty, but out of fear, because anyone who stayed risked dying next. The streets filled with silence, broken only by the sound of death carts. Bodies piled up faster than they could be buried. Mass graves became the new normal. Humanity was collapsing. Between 1347 and 1351, the Black Death killed an estimated 25 to 50 million people in Europe alone. That was nearly 1/3 of the entire population. Let that sink in. 1 out of every 3 people gone. In some cities, more than half the population vanished. Entire villages disappeared from the map. Forever. This was not just a pandemic. This was extinction on a massive scale. And here's the chilling part. Stories like this are often forgotten by time. So if you want more powerful hidden history like this, make sure you hit that subscribe button, because the next story might shock you even more. But something unexpected happened. Out of death came change. With so many people gone, workers became rare. Survivors suddenly had value. Peasants demanded better wages. The rigid class system began to crack. The economy shifted. Power started to move from the few to the many. The plague didn't just kill people, it changed society. It weakened the old systems and opened the door to a new world. Some historians believe this was one of the events that helped lead to the Renaissance, a dark age, giving birth to a new beginning. For centuries, people didn't know what caused the Black Death, but today, we do. It was a bacteria called Yersinia pestis, carried by fleas, that lived on rats. These rats traveled on ships, moving from place to place, invisible passengers, carrying death across continents, a tiny organism that brought humanity to its knees. Eventually, the plague began to fade, not because it was defeated, but because it had already taken so much. Cities slowly came back to life. Markets reopened, but the scars remained. Generations grew up haunted by what they had seen. And even today, the Black Death remains one of the deadliest pandemics in human history, a reminder of how fragile life truly is. It didn't roar like a war. It didn't announce its arrival. It whispered, and the world changed forever. The Black Death was not just a moment in history. It was a warning that sometimes the greatest threats are the ones we cannot see. If this story opened your eyes and you want more deep, powerful, hidden history, make sure you subscribe now, because the next story might be even darker